while I'm eating my cereal, this has been requested a lot because I haven't done one in a while. Honestly, the reason I don't do them is because I find them pretty depressing. But a player count, a player numbers video, basically, what is the state of player numbers in World of Warships? I can do one now, so then we get it out of the way while I'm eating my cereal. Let's see. So we'll do it the same way as we did in the past. We'll use the Votafi page because we had a former community manager from Wargaming confirm that the numbers on Votafi are accurate. So the way that thing works is it parses these numbers, how many players are online on the server, and it constantly parses and updates them. But we'll take the average number of players over 2 weeks, and we'll compare at the same time we've done in the past. We take player count 2 weeks ago, average player count over 2 weeks 1 year ago, and average count of players over 2 weeks right now. So 1 year gap, and we see what the difference is between then and now. We'll start obviously with the biggest server. Let's start with the biggest server, and that is of course EU. EU 1 year ago, it's now March 3rd. So 2 weeks, 2024. We have an average player count of 11,203. So we'll put that 11,203. 2025, we have for EU, we have an average player count of 9,810. So that is 1 year gap from 2024 to 2025. So we have 9,810. Thank you, Striver. So change here is we went from what was it? Thank you, Striver, for 11,203 to 9,810. So that is a minus 12.43%. 43%. So that's the change for EU past year. Then we'll do NA. NA 1 year ago. NA 1 year ago, January 2020, 2 weeks in well, exact same time as now, 1 year ago, 6199. 6199. And in 2025, we are at, where are we at? Last 2 weeks, player count on NA is 5276. 5276. What is our change? Our change is Thank you, damn username, for the 87 months. That's a pretty big percentual change because they had so few to begin with. That's an 89%, 14.89% drop on the NA server. C server, let's see, where's C server? The C server, 1 year ago, we had 7612. 7612. Or sorry, 6712. What am I saying? And in 2025, we have a player count on the C server right now is, over the last 2 weeks, is 6069. 6069. So that is a change of, let's see, 6712 to 669. That is a 9.58% change. There's a reason I don't like doing these fucking things, chat, because I feel like they're always very depressing. But anyway, this is actually the more interesting one. I guess we should add, it's Lesta, like it's Russian server Lesta. It's kind of a different game at this point. Lesta 1 year ago had 759 during the 2 week period. 759. And now in 2025, Lesta has 8,092. That gives them the change of 759 to 892. That gives Lesta the change of plus 14.63%. Yeah, I mean, is there really a whole lot to say about this? Is there a whole lot to say about this? Like, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. I had a guy yesterday tell me I was biased against wargaming, and it's like, bro, I'm not biased against wargaming. Wargaming is just making terrible, terrible choices, and it appears the majority of the player base agrees with that. And I like Lesta's changes, and it appears, considering they're the only server that is actually showing growth, significant growth of that, it would appear that a lot of people agree with what they're doing as well. So, I mean, if Lesta actually made an official mod pack, like their own, there is already a mod pack, but it's user created. But if they just added the option to change language in game without needing mods to English, I think this number would skyrocket even more, because this is dreadful to watch. This is dreadful to watch. So EU is still, though, that's the biggest server. EU is still the biggest server at 9,800 average, but Lesta is the clear second place now, guys. Followed by C in third place, and NA. Like, it's starting to get really critical, the numbers here, because the problem with World of Warships is that you need 12 versus 12, and it needs a lot of classes need mirrors. If there's a carrier, there needs to be a mirrored carrier. If there's a sub, there needs to be a mirrored sub. Thank you, Jason. But like, if this continues like this, if the current trend continues, really, next year Lesta is going to be the largest server. That's easily the projected path. I mean, this trend doesn't even need to be this strong, and it will overtake EU as the biggest server. Like, it's not coming as a surprise. No, it really isn't. Anyone who's been following the development of these games, the path Wargaming has been taking and the path Lesta is taking, no one is surprised. No one is really surprised. You can call it bias, you can call it whatever the fuck you want, but like, it's not bias, it's just the harsh reality. Players are going where the game is better. End of story. End of discussion. Like, there's really not much else to say. It's tragic, because you'd think numbers like this on a really long living game like World of Warships. We're in the 10th anniversary, 10 years. You'd think numbers like this would be a fucking wake up call. Like, hello? Almost 15% decrease. Like, and you know that this game isn't really gaining new players, so the people who are leaving are veterans. Old players of the game are leaving. So, like, at what point is Wargaming gonna wake up and go like, hey, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we should focus less on monetization and more on actually improving the game and adding new content. But the migration to Lesta is significant, but the problem here is, the depressing part is, more people are just leaving. If it was just like they're joking from all the players that we lost on NA, C, and EU, if all of them were just switching to Lesta, that would be one thing, because they would kind of stay in the World of Warships ecosystem. But a majority of the players are just straight up leaving. They're like, I'm fucking done. I'm not going to start grinding a new account on Lesta. I'm just fucking done. And it's really tragic. And I don't know at what point this developer will even care. Like, obviously, they have the same numbers. They know. I think the problem is just they don't care, which is really fucking sad.